Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and in today's video we're going to talk about the shit I've been loving and not loving. It has been a while since I've done a favorites video. It's been probably since my Best in Beauty for 2017 since I've done one, so get your wine ready because we're about to be here for a hot minute. But there's a lot of stuff that I've been loving and not loving, so if you guys like these types of videos, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel before you guys leave, and let's jump right in and let's do this! Alright, so the first thing that I want to talk about is something that I just got but I'm already in love with it. The only downfall is storing it is kind of a pain in the ass because of the size of it, but this is the House of Lashes Lash Story. I've been looking for something to put my lashes in for quite some time now, so as you can see I have a couple in here already. But I've just been putting them in after I use them, so these ones will probably go in after. But I've been loving this just because I keep all my lashes in one place and I don't have a million boxes laying around. So I've been looking for something for a while and I finally decided to pick this up and I'm loving it. Next thing up is going to be a product. I've had this for a long time now, and originally when I first got it I was like, I don't really get the hype over it. But then I just started incorporating it back into my makeup routine again and I am loving it since I'm so much paler than I usually am. So this is the RCMA No Color Powder. This stuff I never really used to like when I was darker because it does have a brightening effect. So it would make my under eyes look really, really bright, which is totally okay, but I like to put my powders all over my face, and when I would put this all over my face, it really lightened up my foundation, which for right now, it works for me. I don't have it on today. I have the Collab makeup one on today. But for right now, a lot of my foundations are too dark because I'm probably the most pale I've ever been in my entire life. So this is the powder that I've been reaching for and I've been really liking it a lot. So this is the RCMA No Color Powder and it's really inexpensive. You get 3 ounces of product for like 12 bucks. That's like less than drugstore price range for the amount of product that you get. So I would definitely recommend this, especially if you're lighter in skin tone. So speaking of collab makeup, we'll just jump into this really quick. I've been using the shit out of it. You can't even see the name on it anymore. So this is the Collab makeup. I think it's called the No Flaws Liquid Concealer. I love this stuff. I think it's a really nice like medium coverage concealer, but it blends out so nicely. I do have it on today. I love this stuff for under my eyes and then brightening up the T-zone. I think this just applies really nicely. I think it blends out like a dream. I really love this and it's really affordable. I get mine at Sally Beauty. This stuff's amazing. I don't feel like it's talked about nearly enough because I love it. If you're looking for a more full coverage concealer, you probably won't like this because it doesn't really have an intense amount of coverage, but if you're looking for somebody like me, this is perfect. It brightens up my under eyes, but it doesn't cover too much because I don't really have dark circles or anything like that. So for me, this works absolutely perfect. I love this concealer. Next thing up is going to be this L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. This is literally the best drugstore primer I have ever tried. This reminds me a lot of the Tarte smoothing primer, like the one that comes in the pot, just like this. It reminds me so much of that. I think this is a perfect dupe for it. It's drugstore, so it's affordable. I think this was like 10 bucks. This is hands down the best primer at the drugstore I have ever come across. I've tried so many at the drugstore. This is the one that I would pick up any day over any of them. I think this stuff is amazing. So if you're looking for something for pore filling, I focus this right on this area right here, and then I have like a really deep hole over here. So I always fill in those areas with this and it completely fills them in. I love this primer. Next thing up I wanted to mention, I've probably talked about this before, but this is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in the shade Tantastic. I wanted to mention this today because they are supposed to be restocking this. This was a limited product, but they are restocking it in like with the white packaging with rose gold. I might even pick up another one because I love this so much. I don't have it on my face today, but I wear this a lot. If you follow me on Instagram, this is in so many of my posts because this is like the perfect contour and bronzer for me. It's like the perfect neutral. It looks so amazing on the skin. It blends out so nice. I love this, so I wanted to mention it today. If you have been wanting this, you're going to want to keep an eye out at your local Sephora because they are restocking this with like a summer collection. So I'm sure it's coming in like April, May, sometime within there, but this is well worth the price tag. You get a shit ton of product. I've had mine for over a year. I use this all the time and I've like barely made a dent in the pan. So this is definitely 100% worth the price. I would highly recommend this for literally like any light to medium skin tone because it's amazing. Alright, so next thing up is going to be a lip product. This is the Poutmud Wet Lip Balm Treatment by Glamglow. I was gifted the duo with like the exfoliator and this in it. I'm not a fan of the exfoliator, but it's not like the worst thing I've ever tried, but this is so good. It makes your lips feel so nice. Like you can see how like glossy looking it is. Oh, it's just such a nice lip balm. I've been really loving it. This is gonna go in like my nightstand because it just makes my lips feel so nice and juicy and just hydrated, and it's really nice for nighttime especially. So This is going upstairs in my nightstand because I've been obsessed with this stuff ever since I opened it up and tried it. So the next thing that I want to talk about are palettes. I have eyeshadows, contours, and highlighter palettes, but I've been obsessed with eyeshadow palettes lately. I don't know what the hell my deal is. I haven't bought an eyeshadow palette in so long, and then I just bought like 5 of them recently. So I don't know what the hell's going on with me lately, but I am not mad about it because I've been finding such good eyeshadow palettes lately. So the first one is going to be this Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. I mean, the packaging on it is so goddamn cute. I love it. So it looks like this, like, don't you just want to eat it? It looks so good. But this is what the inside of the palette looks like. It has a nice big mirror. It is mostly metallic shades, so if you're looking for mostly matte shades, this is not the one for you. You get these matte shades, you get 4 of them over on this side, and then all the rest are metallic. But these are literally like the best metallic shades I've ever used in my entire life. This palette was so good, especially the shade Rich Girl. That has been my favorite just in general. But this whole palette is so good. It smells like chocolate. It smells so fucking good. Like these matte shades, they blend so nicely. The metallics, they apply so nice. You don't even need Fix Plus with them. This is just such a beautiful palette. I haven't been really impressed with the palette since the Jaclyn Hill palette, and this one really blew me away. I feel like this is such a beautiful palette. The metallics in this are everything. And then you have those matte shades. They're like the perfect transition slash deepen shades. Like you can get just a basic ass look with these and then amp anything up with all of these metallics. I just think this is such a beautiful palette. And for how beautiful I think this is, not enough people are talking about it. So I've been obsessed with this. I think it's beautiful, especially those metallics. I love that. But this next palette really blew me away because I was honestly expecting it to be good but not love it as much as I do. So this is still rather new, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. The formula of this is very similar to the Modern Renaissance palette, but I feel like this is better. Like you just like apply the shadows and they just blend themselves, it feels like. Like these blend out so easily. You get the most beautiful and natural looks with it, but you could really intensify them. You could change the look of them with how basic this looks. You can do so much with this palette. So I've been really loving this. I think it is well worth the price of it. I think anybody will absolutely love this. Excuse my dog upstairs. But I just think this is the one palette on the market right now that if you went out and buy it, no matter what skin tone you are, no matter how experienced you are, you will be able to use this because the shadows are just so easy to work with and blend out. So I would definitely recommend this palette 100%. I love this palette. Alright, so that's it for eyeshadow palettes. Now we'll move on to a contour palette. This one I was really iffy about for a while because I couldn't really get it to work, and then when I felt like I got it to work, it would not really look good on me. But the more that I've used it, the more brushes that I use with it, I feel like it works a lot better. So this is the Tarte Cosmetics Park Ave Princess Chiseled palette. So if I were any lighter than what I am now, I would probably say to pass on this, but being that I get really dark throughout the year, like it's winter time in New York right now, so the darker that I get throughout the year, I feel like I could still use this palette as I get darker. So that's the one thing that I really like about it, is I feel like I could use it all year. But I feel like if you're lighter skinned than I am, these two shades I don't feel like are light enough. Like this one here is the one that I use the most, but I still feel like it's a little bit too dark. And then this lighter shade, it's too gray on me. Like it looks like I just threw dirt on my face. So this is the one that I have to work with the most. It's the shade Princess Cut, but I feel like Carrot is just too cool on me. So I don't really like that one, but the more that I have used this, the more that I have really liked it. I think the formula on these powders are amazing. I think they're really reminiscent to Kat Von D's Shaded Light Contour palette. So I feel like if you have that palette, you really don't need this one. But if you don't have either one, I do feel like this is a really nice contour palette. So I have been really liking it now that I know how the hell to use it. Okay, so the next thing that we'll talk about is a highlighter palette. Now, if I were to get rid of every single highlighter in my collection, this would be the one that I would keep because it is literally the most beautiful highlighter that I have. So this is the Hourglass Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. This is limited edition, so if it's still in your store or still online, just go grab it. I feel like any skin tone can use this. I think it's really universal. I freaking love it. These are the two shades that I use the most right now, but I do mix all 3 of them sometimes, and I could still get away with using them on my really fair skin. So don't let this one fool you. It is not too dark by any means, at least for me it's not. But I feel like I could still use this in the summertime too. So I just think these are absolutely stunning. They do sell them individually as well. I just love the fact that this is so versatile, and I think it's just a beautiful palette, and I just love the aesthetics of it. Like, it gets really dirty. That's the only downfall with stuff like this, is it gets so dirty. But this is such a gorgeous highlighter palette. Like, it is expensive as hell, but it's worth every single penny. Like, this will last me years, so that's where I don't have a problem with spending the money with Hourglass, because their powders are so beautiful and they last you for so long. So I would definitely recommend this. If you could still find it, I would definitely pick it up. I think it is absolutely stunning. Okay, that's it for palettes. Now we'll move on to a brush. Now this is one I've had for the longest time and I just never really reached for it, and I'm going to like declutter my brushes, I think, because I have so many that I just don't use. But I recently picked this one up for my bronzer and I was just like, why have I never used this? This is the Morphe M551 brush. I just think this is what I used on my cheeks today. It just fits so perfectly in this area, and you could really place your bronzer and it doesn't really get out of control. Like, it doesn't get too low like a lot of my other brushes tend to do. This is my new favorite bronzer brush. I love it. I think it's so nice. I just think it's so soft. It disperses and blends out the product perfectly. I've just been obsessed with it. And Morphe, it's really affordable. I want to know your guys' favorite brush companies though. Like, I have mostly Morphe. I kind of want to expand my horizons though a little bit. So let me know which brushes you guys love. So next thing is going to be a liquid illuminator, which is really weird because I usually never use products like this. But this is the Collab Makeup The Filter Highlighting Liquid. I think this is absolutely beautiful. Like, as soon as I got it, I was just like, I probably won't use it like my other ones. But as soon as I used it for the first time, I just thought it was so gorgeous. It's like the perfect shade for me right now. It looks like this. It just gives you like a really nice luminosity. It's not too much though. That's what I really like about it. Like, it's not too much so it doesn't look funky. I don't know, I just really like it. It gives me a really nice healthy glow to the skin, and I like to just place it on my cheekbones when I use it, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. So I've been really liking this one. And for this collab makeup, I really like the packaging on this stuff too. Like, it's so cute and it's so affordable. It's really high-end looking, so I'm all about that life. Okay, next things that I've been loving are going to be foundation. So the first one is going to be one I have not shut the fuck up about on any sort of social media. So this is the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation SPF 20. I have done a wear test on this, and this is probably the most beautiful foundation I've ever put on my face. I'll leave that link right up here. This is such a beautiful foundation for, I feel like, any type of skin. I feel like dry skin, oily skin, normal skin. I feel like anybody could use this. It wore so good on my skin. I think it is such a beautiful foundation, especially for the drugstore. It is more of like a light to medium coverage, but you could definitely layer it to build to a full coverage. I love this. I do recommend you apply it with a makeup sponge. I feel like it just applies and looks a lot nicer. When you apply it with a brush, it looks a lot heavier. So I think this is a beautiful foundation. This has been like my obsession lately. But another foundation I want to talk about is one that I've fallen back in love with because it's just so good. So this is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is what's on my skin right now. It just makes my skin look healthy and natural, but it has more coverage than the healthy foundation. So this is like a light to medium coverage. This is more of like a medium to full coverage. But the finish of these two are very, very similar. I feel like the Too Faced Born This Way might be a little bit more luminous, and I feel like this one wears a little bit more gracefully. So they are very different. I thought these initially were dupes for one another, but the more that I wear both of them, I realize that they're not. So again, I feel like this is light to medium coverage, very natural looking skin-like. And this is also very skin-like, but it wears not as gracefully as this one. So if you're looking for a medium to full coverage, you might want to go for this one, but this you can also build up to that. But you also have a significant price difference. You have like $10 for this one and then like 30 something for this one. I think it's like $38. So quite a price difference. If you're looking for a foundation that's very skin-like, I would definitely recommend this one to try first. And then if it's not enough coverage for you, go towards the Born This Way, because I feel like these are both beautiful foundations. So I love those. Fallen back in love with my Born This Way. That's it for foundation. So now for applying foundation, I've been so obsessed. I was so obsessed with the Fenty Beauty sponge, and I still love that one, but this one has taken the cake. It's dirty, I know, it's disgusting, but whatever, I just used it. But this Tarte, I don't even know the name of it. It's like, it's the sponge that got launched with the Shape Tape foundation. I'll leave it in the description box of this video, but this is such a good sponge. I think it's just the perfect size. It blends out everything so nicely. Like, you can use the flat edge, you can clean up your contour easily. It's just such a nice sponge. It's got like a really nice bounciness to it. I just love it. This has been my go-to sponge lately, and I've washed this so many times and it has not even ripped yet. So I feel like this does outbeat the Fenty one just because the longevity of it is so much better than that one. Because that one does last a lot longer than like the drugstore sponges, but it does not outlast this one by any means. Even the Beauty Blender has ripped before this one, I think. So I don't know, this is like been my go-to sponge lately. I think it's like 16 bucks or 18 bucks. So it is a little bit more expensive, but totally worth it. I love it. So yeah, definitely recommend that. So the next thing is going to be a blush, and I just love Becca blushes. So I just got these Luminous blushes, but the shade Snapdragon has been my absolute favorite. It's not on my skin today, but it is so beautiful. I think this is going to be such a nice blush for the summer and spring. Becca blushes are my favorite formula for blush. They just look so beautiful on the skin. Like the Tarte ones are really nice for longevity. Like you always hear people hype about those. Longevity wise, those are so nice. But I feel like the Becca ones last just as long, but I feel like they look so much more beautiful on the skin. Like they just look skin-like. I love these Luminous blushes. I love the mineral blushes. Highly recommend. They are expensive, but to me, they're worth it because they're gorgeous. Okay, next thing up is going to be an eye product. This is going to be the Dose of Colors Ideal Duo in the shade Pixie Dust. I don't know if they sell this shade anymore, but I wanted to mention this because one, I've been using it a lot lately, but for two, I want to say that Ulta has these as a hot buy right now, so they're like 15 bucks. They are going to be a cream base on the top. I'll give you guys a swatch. I swatched these in my, I don't know which video I'm going to post first. I swatched these in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty video that I did. So this is going to be the cream base right here. And then there's a powder on the bottom. This is the part that is so beautiful in this product. So I'll just take this and just dab it right over the top. Oh my god, you guys. This on the inner corner is everything. I don't know if you guys are really going to be able to see it, but just look at how beautiful that is. I put that on the inner corner of my eye all the time. The only thing that I will say, just be careful with the cream product because it tends to crease on the eyes. I've just noticed that the more people that I've used them on, they do crease on the eyes, so just be cautious of that, but that is so freaking beautiful. So I do love these, and for 15 bucks, I think they're totally worth it. Okay, next thing up is going to be an eyeliner. I've been obsessed with this color. I don't know why, but it's the Marc Jacobs HighLiner in the shade Pink of Me. This has just been so flattering on my eyes. I like to use nude liners a lot, but I've been really liking the pink just because it gives me like a little bit of a different look than I usually have. And whenever I use like lavenders or mauvey tones, I like to pop this right on my waterline, and it just really ties the look together so much better. So I've been really loving these. I also do love the shade in the buff as well, but I feel like this is like my favorite eyeliner of all time. I feel like any shade that I get, I'm going to love because the formula of these is so good. It's slide on, glide on, easy peasy. I really love these, but the shade Pink of Me is bomb. I really want to get that light blue one too, so that's probably my next one that I'll get. Okay, next thing up is going to be a lip liner. This is the Beautique Lipstick and Lip Liner Duo in the shade Natural. Sally Beauty sent this to me, and I really wasn't expecting much. I'm kind of just like, whatever, it's a lip liner. But these are so good. I was really surprised. These are really nice though. Like, they are a little bit more tough, but that's what the shade looks like. It has a lip liner on one end, and then a more like chunky lipstick on the other end. So it makes it nice for lip lining and filling in your lips. I just love these. The only thing that I think would have been better is if it had like that ombre effect, like the lip liner was a little bit darker. But I just think these are beautiful, and that shade is everything. But I really like these because it's like the formula of it is a little bit more stiff. So when you apply it on your lips, you're like, oh, this is going to feel really dry. But I feel like it performs underneath lipsticks really well because it's going to make them even more long lasting. So I've been really loving these, and they're super inexpensive. You can get them at Sally's. So again, these are the Beautique Lipstick and Lip Liner Duos, and this is in the shade Natural. Okay, last lip product up is going to be one that I spent so much time swatching these at the counter. So these are the Buxom Vava Plump Shiny Liquid Lipsticks, and this is in the shade Come to Dolly. This formula is so good. I cannot stop wearing these, but the shade is so beautiful. Like, first of all, look at that pigment, and then it shines like a lip gloss. It doesn't last as long as a typical liquid lipstick would, but it lasts a really long time for a shiny lip product. So I've been really liking this one. I do want to pick up more of these. They're like 20 bucks a piece, so they are a little bit more expensive, but I just love it. I love that it feels like a liquid lipstick, but it's more hydrating, so it feels like a lip gloss. I don't know, it's so nice. It's so different too, so I do really like these. And I also really like the applicator on those. I don't know if you'll be able to see it really. It's kind of like a doe foot, but it's got like a little dip, so it fits perfectly on your lips. I just love these. I love everything about it. So now we'll move on to the not so favorites. So the first thing is going to be a deodorant that I went back to thinking that the one that I was using wasn't really doing anything. So this is the Secret Clinical Strength Clear Gel in Stress Response. This shit don't work. I'm the type of girl I pit out. I stink if I don't wear deodorant, okay? This does not do enough for me. So if you are a girl like me, this will not do it for you. That's the easiest way to explain it. Like, I'll wake up in the morning. Usually when I wear deodorants, it lasts all night. This does not. Like, I wake up stankin'. So we're definitely going to switch to a different deodorant. If you have any you guys recommend, let me know. I was using a men's deodorant before and that performed way better than this one. So I'd rather smell like a man than smell like BO. So this, hard pass, will never repurchase this ever again. Okay, next thing up is going to be the literally worst sheet mask I have ever tried in my entire life. Like, I went on a full-blown Instagram rant about it because my skin reacted so badly with this. So this is the Mary Kay Time Wise Repair Lifting Biocellulose Mask. This made my skin break out the worst it's ever broken out in my entire life. Like, you could probably still see I have a huge pimple right here, and then all under here broke out like crazy. Like, I wish you guys could see how bad it was right here. It was covered in like those really deep, painful pimples. I had 2 on my forehead. I was just like, I don't break out like this. Like, I have problematic skin. I don't break out like this. So I know for a fact it was this. I thought maybe it was the next product that I'm going to talk about, but no, I'm convinced it was this. It sucked so bad too because this felt so nice on the skin. Like, it just felt heavenly on the skin. Like, it just felt like it was penetrating your skin. It felt so nice, but not if it's gonna fuck my shit up like it did. So that is a hard pass. I will never put that on my face again. And then the next thing is going to be the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This looked really nice for like 4 hours. I don't even know if it was even 4 hours, but it looked really nice temporarily. But the longer that I wore it, the more that it looked like shit. I did a wear test on this on my channel. If you guys want to see that, it's up here. The longer that I wore this, it looked terrible on my skin. It just did not look flattering on me. I will stick to my Too Faced Born This Way and my Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. This just did me no favors, so I would definitely pass on this. Next thing is going to be another foundation. Actually, the next 2 are going to be foundations. Next thing is going to be the Marc Jacobs Shameless Foundation. I put this on in my Purple Halo tutorial or something like that, where I used the Kristen Leanne palette. I first applied this foundation and then I applied this one after. I took this one off because it looked that bad. Like, it emphasized all my texture. Like, it looked nice when I first applied it, and then like I looked at my skin like 10 minutes later and I was just like, my skin usually don't look that bad. So this just emphasized texture that like wasn't even there. So this was hard pass for me. It's very light coverage. Like, I get it if you want a natural foundation, but for me, hard pass, not a fan at all. And then the next one, I was kind of bummed because the more that I use it, the more that I don't like it. So this is the Tarte Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation. I didn't like the matte foundation when I did like the one side matte, one side hydrating. I picked this one over those two, and then the more that I use it now, I'm just like, I don't know. It looks okay on the skin, but it does not wear nicely. Like, my husband even made a comment. I wore it yesterday and he's just like, that doesn't look good on your skin. I just feel like it doesn't really sit on the skin well, and it transfers really easily. Like, if I were to touch my nose, it would come off. So I'm not a fan of this the more that I use it, so I would say pass on this. I know Ulta has, like, if you buy this, you get a Shape Tape for $15 for like the 21 Days of Beauty. I still would not recommend it even to do that. If you love Shape Tape, like, just spend the money on the Shape Tape. That's just my opinion. Next thing will be the, what is this? The Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. A lot of people were comparing this to the Shape Tape, and the only thing I think is similar to Shape Tape is the applicator. Like, it has that really chunky doe foot applicator. I still wasn't a fan of this. I didn't feel like the coverage was that good, and I feel like it just looked like shit. I don't know. It wore really heavy on me. I just didn't like it. Not my favorite. I'm more of like a lightweight type of gal when it comes to concealers, especially in my under eyes, and this fell into my fine lines so bad. It just really aged me, so I was not a fan of this at all. And the last thing that was a complete fail for me was this Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. I keep seeing all these pictures of people's lashes looking fucking amazing with this, and I think it looks like shit. Like, when you do one layer, it looks really nice, but then as soon as you put a second coat on it, it's like Spider City. Like, it just clumps my lashes. It looks like complete shit. Not my favorite. I do really like it for my bottom lashes though. Like, that's the only positive. So I am glad that I only got a mini size of it, but hard pass for me. I'll stick to the drugstore or my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. That's it. So that's gonna be everything for my current favorites and not so favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys do like this video, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel before you guys leave, and I hope to see you guys in my next one.